Yemoo, the mother of us all. Iya, the greatest mother, the mother of the universe. Yemo is an ancient female deity of the Orisa pantheon of Ifa. I call her my mysterious mother because most people don't know much about Yemo, even myself. Her spiritual rituals and knowledge of her background and characteristics are not well known, especially for those of us in the Western culture. The most common thing people seem to know about Yemo is that she's the wife of Obatala. As an initiate of Yemo, also known as Yemòwó, I have my own story of how I became connected to Yemu and my journey with her, but I will get into that more in the future. For now, it is important to know that during this time, when the energy of the divine feminine is very, very strong and present, Yemo is reclaiming her position of power. Yes, she is the female counterpart of Obatala. Quite often, she is absorbed into that energy with an assumption that if you know about Obatala, then you know what you need to know about Yemu. But in my opinion, she has her own identity and traits, some of which can be a strong contrast in comparison to Obatala. So in this series of media, I will provide some basic understanding of Yemu and build upon that as time goes on. At this time, there is a scarce amount of documented information or literature about Yemo. However, one of my missions is to bring awareness of this deity through my own research, documentation, and personal journey. Therefore, this media series is a forerunner for more of my own literature about Yemo. My research and information comes from various elders, spiritual lineages, small excerpts of literature that I found, and my own spirit's interpretation and alignment with Yemo. I plan to be as thorough as I can in distinguishing between my own spirit's perspective and the references that I've gathered. I will also indicate information that I am uncertain about, vague information or contradictory information. So now let's get into some of the basics about Yemo. Yemo's color is white, all white. We invoke her with a bell, a silver bell. Some offerings that she loves that can be given to Yemo is efun, which is like a white chalk that is commonly used in the Ifa Orisa tradition. Eggs, white food in general, pounded yam. I've even given her white milk, white birds, white animals, and cola nuts. Typically, the same offerings that you give Obatala, you can give Yemo. From my understanding, they like the same thing, so the offerings are the same with one pretty big exception, which is Yemo actually loves blood, whereas Obatala commonly does not take blood or very little of it. So that's an important contrast between the two of them that I don't think many people know. Some art that I have been able to connect Yemo to is pottery and weaving. Some of her physical traits is that she was an extraordinarily beautiful woman. Some describe her as having a fair skin complexion, and possibly in some stories or some excerpts I've read of her being albino, but a beautiful woman in general. Yemo is African, so I always think of her as a beautiful melanated woman, maybe light brown, or, albino, if you may, but a beautiful woman in general. Her character in many stories is that she has a jealous nature, especially when it comes to Obatala, but she's very dignified and very powerful. She's unassuming with her mysterious nature, but extremely powerful. Yemo is known to be a female Orisha that led all the other female Orishas to the earth. One of her tag names is Iya J, the mother of the world, the mother of the earth. And some taboos for Yemo is that you shouldn't give her any really spicy foods, or no foods that's very hot in temperature, no dark color, especially for her initiates, no salt, and no palm oil. So there we have it, an intro and a few basics about the beautiful, amazing Orisha Yemo.